Do you know something? The very thing that I love about spiritualism and mediumship is the very thing that people say is so bad about us, that we talk to the dead, and we are individualistic, we don't like rules and regulations, and we don't conform to orthodox religious views. Well, they're all the things that I like about spiritualism and about mediumship. And what I especially like about mediumship is not just being able to communicate with those on the other side of life. They're not really dead. They're physically dead to us, but they're still there in spirit as individuals, and they are continuing their existence in a far finer vibration than ours, in a far nicer environment, because all of those who visit us from those other places, the realms of light, always tell us how dark and dreary it is down here. Even when we think it's lovely, they don't think it's so lovely. They think that this is a very dark and gloomy place compared. And of course, it must be, because we've been told that since time immemorial, that those angelic beings who have visited the earth plane to speak to people, mediums, have always said how that is and what a lovely place they inhabit. Well, the other thing, of course, that's so good about it is the fact that those who have gone on before, even if we don't know them or we didn't know them in the ordinary sense, are able to help us improve our lives down here. And that, I think, is wonderful. I don't know why they should bother with doing that, but they certainly do. And I know that I would not be without that understanding and without knowing that I'm being helped. And as a medium, helping other people to understand that they are also being helped in that way, in most amazing ways, because we're limited down here. It doesn't matter how clever a surgeon or a doctor or anybody is, they are nothing like as clever as those who are in the spirit realms. And there is a channel, a way of those in the spirit realms helping us here. And as I said, sometimes I don't really know why they would bother, but they do. And I thank God for that, because ultimately it is in the hands of God. And as we are told time and time again, everything is known to God. And as we are, and as it says in the Bible, even the hairs on our head are counted and known, even the sparrow that falls. Which brings me back again to the healing and the fact that we can receive healing from those on the other side of life, which wonderfully complements the healing ministrations of doctors and physicians and surgeons down here. And there have been some renowned healers, of course, more so perhaps in the olden days, before the days of television and instant communication through this kind of technology. People like Harry Edwards, for instance, who founded the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary at Shear in Guildford in Surrey in the UK. And they have gone from strength to strength since he founded it back in the 1950s. And he wrote books, of course, fortunately, and they're available here and there. Harry Edwards is the name to look for. And he had a particular way of healing that doesn't go down terribly well now with some of the organisations that organise healing here in the UK. But nevertheless, he got wonderful results. And of course, the people that worked with him will work with other healers and still working with healers today. And we can get some amazing results. And we certainly get a lot of alleviation of pain, and we get a lot of giving of comfort. And that's something, even a good night's sleep when you haven't been sleeping well is something to be sought after and enjoyed after being given healing. So how do we give healing? Through mediumship, of course, and we attune ourselves to spirit world, to those that we love and work with us, and we ask them to give some help to the person who is suffering. Now, this can be affected as Paul did in Paul of the Bible again. St. Paul, he used to put healing emanations into cloths, and these he would send to people, and they would put these cloths on affected and afflicted parts, and they would receive a relief from their ailments. And in fact, we can do that today. Healers can sit quietly, send up their prayers. They can hold a small cloth and hold it between their hands and ask for healing to be placed in it. And when they know that that's gone through, only a few minutes really, you can wrap that in cling film, and it actually protects everything. And then you can give it to somebody. I'd send it even through the post. And when they unwrap it, they can place it upon themselves, and they will feel a benefit. And of course, I have these little crosses that I send out to people on request with the same thing, because a holding cross is very comforting when you are in a ticklish spot. For instance, in an MRI scanner, I held the cross between the buzzer, which would bring me out if I panicked too much and couldn't bear it, and my hand that was holding it. And the whole 3/4 of an hour I was in there, I became only aware of the cross, and I never pressed the buzzer. So, it does work. So I'm terrible. I do suffer from claustrophobia, and I didn't expect that. But there you are, you see. So the proof of the pudding. And I know that as far as mediumship is concerned, and mediums, people do enjoy a good message. And there's nothing to be sniffed at with that, because receiving a message from a loved one who you think you have lost, who seems to be lost forever, and to actually receive a message comforting you when they've identified themselves and perhaps told you a little bit about themselves through the medium, so that you know that there's absolutely no mistake that that's who it is. And they may even give you a name, or all sorts of proof of their survival. And it's lovely to get messages, however short and sweet, to think that somebody is able to make that contact when you thought that they've just been lost forever to you, is just such a wonderful thing. I've had messages myself, and of course, as a medium, I've given countless messages and been happy to do so. And also on that healing level, there are those in the world of spirit who wish to make their presence known in that way, that you can actually channel that healing from them through your own spirit to that spirit that is within another human being, or even an animal. You can actually heal animals too. It has been known to heal plants. So in fact, you can see these flowers behind me. Well, I haven't attempted to heal them, but certainly you can. So just practice on flowers and plants and things, and you'll see the improvement in them. And you don't have to ask their permission. Whereas if you're going to practice on a friend or something, you'd have to ask. Well, I thought perhaps that I should also say that mediumship can be used to give advice, as long as you get it from those you trust on the other side. You can give advice on all sorts of aspects of life down here. Sometimes it's not palatable, and you just have to give what you get. You can't give what you think you'd like to say. You actually have to, if somebody says you're on the wrong path, you have to say to them, well, I'm sorry, but they're telling me that you are on the wrong path. And, that's how it is. So I didn't come on to chat to you necessarily to give you a lecture in how to how to behave as a medium or a healer, but that's certainly the way this little chat has taken me. What I really wanted to do was say to you that I would love to send some healing out to you, because it's such a wonderful thing to have. And I was minded to mention Harry Edwards, and he actually has a prayer himself that he put out. But this is a lovely poem that was written by a follower of Harry Edwards called Lynn Lytton, and she said this, and it is so nice. She said, "Wherever you may be, I am still there for you. You are not lost to me. I shall still care for you. I am not someone whom you once have known, taken away to leave you all alone. Tell me of pain or fear deep in your heart, and softly speak my name. We are not far apart, so that in dreams, when the long day is through, I may send healing once again to you." And there you see, Lynn Lytton wrote that to let you know that you can receive healing. You just ask, and it shall be given to you. So I think that she was really referring to Harry Edwards and asking Harry Edwards to give you healing, and that's quite fine. I'm sure that he won't mind. But certainly it means that you can ask, and even if you don't know who is going to be giving you healing, you know that, or you should know that you will receive it anyway. And not necessarily while you sleep. If you're not a faint heart, you can receive healing at any time. If you get a bit desperate, which often we do, you can just say, "Oh, something hurts. Could somebody help me, please?" And just switch your little light on, because we all have this light within us. And if you just send up your thoughts, that little light burns brighter because you're connecting. It's the power of prayer, basically. It's the same as praying. When you're asking for help, you are praying. Even if you don't believe in prayer, that's what you're doing. And even if you don't couch it in Old English or say amen or bring God into it, know that that ear is always there for you, and they hear. And it doesn't matter how bad things look, ask for help and they will help you. Well, I suppose I've done enough preaching for one little while. I hope that you've enjoyed our little chat. I don't know if it's helped you at all. I just really enjoy passing on little snippets of info that I've picked up along the way, and know that I am actually speaking with you. And in my mind's eye, I get the vision of someone sitting there connecting and thinking nice thoughts. And that's what we need, isn't it? We need more good thoughts in the world, and spread a little bit of kindness and good cheer and a little bit of healing to those who need it. And I'm sending healing to you at this time. So I say God bless to you, and hope that you receive the healing that you need. May you be blessed with comfort, with a painless night's sleep when you need it. God bless you.